Hello my future engineers, welcome to PW Gulf. So in this PYQ series, today is the time for the chapter Kinetic Theory of Gases and Thermodynamics. We have already revised 3 chapters and done the PYQs. So today is for KTG and Thermo. Usually questions from this chapters are direct and formula based questions, but a little bit time you have to think also, okay? So let us start what PYQs have come in from this chapter. According to kinetic theory of gases, the motion of the gas molecule freezes at 0 degrees Celsius. So this is a false statement. Okay, this is a false statement. This is an incorrect statement. The mean free path of the gas molecules decreases if the density of molecules is increased. If the density of molecules is increased, then mean free path will decrease, because lambda is inversely proportional to density. So if density decreases, mean free density increases, mean free path will decrease. So this is a correct statement. Next statement is the mean free path of a gas molecule increases if temperature is increased keeping pressure constant. So lambda is inversely proportional to density and lambda is directly proportional to T by P. So if pressure is kept constant, it will increase with temperature. This statement is also correct. Average kinetic energy per molecule per degree of freedom. So per molecule per degree of freedom is not 3 by 2 kBT, it is 1 by 2 kBT. Okay, so this statement is incorrect. Now let us see, choose the most appropriate answer from the option given below. Now we have to choose which is the correct statement. So B and C, option number 2 will be the answer. Only B and C options are correct. Okay, so you should know the basic concepts. Even if you know the basic, you can attempt question from this chapter. Okay, see next question. The relation between root mean square speed and most probable speed for the molar mass m of oxygen gas molecule at temperature of 300 Kelvin will be. So what will be my VRMS? VRMS is equal to under root 3 RT by molar mass m. And what is most probable? Most probable is equal to under root 2 RT by molar mass. Okay, so 3 RT by m and 2 RT by m, if we take their ratio, what is the ratio of the two? VRMS by VP, it will be under root of 3 by 2. Rest gets cancelled, gas is also same, so m will be same, temperature is also same, so T will be same, R is already a constant, so we get VRMS is equal to under root of 3 by 2 times the VP. Okay, this will be the answer. Option number 2, VRMS is equal to root 3 by 2 times most probable speed. This will be the answer. See next question, NAT type question. When a gas filled in a closed vessel is heated by raising the temperature by 1 degree Celsius. So if T1 is equal to T, then T2 will be T plus 1. Let us take it in Kelvin. Okay, if T1 is T Kelvin, we have raised the temperature by 1 degree Celsius. So same will be the rise in Kelvin scale also. Its pressure increased by 0.4%. So if initial pressure is equal to P, then final pressure will be P plus 0.4% of P. So this will be 1.004 P. Okay, P2 will be 1.004 P. The initial temperature of the gas in Kelvin we have to find. So we have changed the pressure and temperature, volume will be kept constant. So we know that P by T will be a constant. P by T is a constant. So P1 by T1 is equal to P2 by T2. Substitute the values, we get P1 is P, T1 is T, P2 is 1.004 times P and T2 is T plus 1. P and P gets cancelled. What we get is T plus 1 is equal to 1.004 times t. So subtract it. 1 is equal to 0.004 into t. T will be 1 divided by. So from this you will get T will be equal to 250 Kelvin. Okay, this will be the answer. So in NAT type, what you have to write is 250 250. What you have to write. Okay, so this will be the answer. See next question. A mixture of hydrogen and oxygen gas has volume 2000 centimeter cube. So we have a mixture, okay, and the total volume is 2000 centimeter cube. So this will amount as how much? 2000 into 10 raised to the power minus 6 meter cube. So 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 3 meter cube. Okay, convert it into. I am doing every question stepwise so that you can understand. But in paper you have to save time by keeping the steps as much less as possible. Okay, temperature is given as 300 Kelvin and pressure is equal to 100 kilopascals. So it will be 10 raised to the power 5 Pascal. Okay, the ratio of number of moles of hydrogen to number of moles of oxygen in the mixture will be. We have to find the ratio of number of moles. So let us take that number of moles. Okay, for hydrogen number of moles are N1 and for oxygen number of moles are N2. Okay, hydrogen N1 moles and O2 N2 moles. Mass is 0.76 gram. Okay, mass is 0.76 gram. So how much mass will the volume contain? N1 moles into molar mass of hydrogen. Okay, 1 mole has 2 gram. So N1 moles will have N1 into 2. Similarly, N2 into 32. So we will get 0.76 is equal to 2N1 plus 32N2. From this we get the statement that N1 plus 16 N2 is equal to half of 0.76, that is 0.38. Name it as equation number 1. Okay, name it as equation number 1. Now apply the equation of partial pressure because we have a mixture of gas. Okay, total pressure is equal to P1 plus P2, where P1 and P2 are the partial pressures. So total pressure will be N1R T by V plus N2R T by V. What will be partial pressure? The pressure exerted by the individual gases contained in the same volume at the same temperature. Okay, so this is given as 10 raised to the power 5 is equal to N1 plus N2 will be left because this will come as common, divided by volume is 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 3. Okay, so from here we will get N1 plus N2 is equal to 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 3 into 10 raised to the power 5 divided by 8.31 into 273. Okay, now see, we want to find a ratio between N1 and N2. Number of moles of oxygen, hydrogen to oxygen in the mixture. We have taken hydrogen's mole as N1 and oxygen's mole as N2. So from this what we have to find is the ratio of N1 to N2. Okay, one equation is this, other equation we will get from this. When you will solve this term, you will get N1 plus N2 is equal to 0.08. Name it as equation number 2. Okay, now write both the equations. N1 plus 16 N2 is equal to 0.38. Okay, and N1 plus N2 is equal to 0.08. If you want to solve them, you can solve them to get N1 and N2 and then take their ratio. Okay, and if you want to equate them, you just want to find the ratio, you can then also find the ratio. Okay, we just want to find the ratio only. Okay, so what is we can do, we can subtract this. So if we subtract this, or you can also add this. Okay, you can also add this just to get the ratio. Now see, n1 subtraction 15 and 2, if we subtract these two equation is equal to 0.30. Okay, so n2, this is 1. If we multiply it by 16, so we will get n1 plus 16 n2 is equal to 0.38, and n1 16 n1 plus 16 n2, this will be 1.28. Now subtract it, then also you will get 15 n1 is equal to 1.28, this will be 0.9. Okay, now divide it, n1 by n2, 15 and 15 gets cancelled, it will be 0.9 by 0.3, which is simply 3:1. So n1 ratio n2 is 3:1. Now it depends on you how you want to do it. Now at this frame of time, this came to my mind that multiply it by 16. Okay, so that I'll get again 15 if I subtract it. Okay, now this came into my mind, 15 n2 is equal to 0.3. If I multiply this equation by 16, now subtract, then n2 will get cancelled, again 16 minus 1, I'll get 15. So 15 will get cancelled. Whatever you can do, if you find this, you can also add them. You can also add them to get the ratio. Okay, you can get the ratio by taking one common also. Okay, this is also what we can do. If we take common also, then you can also get the ratio. There are multiple ways of solving these two equations. So answer will be 3:1. Let's take our answer. Option number 2 will be the answer. Okay, see next question. For a perfect gas, two pressures P1 and P2 are shown in the figure. Okay, for ideal gas, we have shown two pressures P1 and P2. The graph is given to us. We have to find which one is greater. Now what will be the slope? Slope of this graph is V by T. Okay, slope of this graph is V by T, and if we see PV is equal to nRT, so V by T is inversely proportional to P. Yes, V by T is inversely proportional to T. So what we see is slope is inversely proportional to pressure. Which slope is more? P2 is more. Okay, slope of 2 is greater than slope of 1. So P2 will be less than P1. This will be the answer. Okay, P1 is greater than P2 or P2 is less than P1. Option number 1 will be the answer. Just simply see the slope. See next question. What will be the effect on the root mean square velocity of oxygen molecules if the temperature is doubled? Okay, T prime is equal to 2T. Oxygen molecule dissociates into atomic oxygen. Oxygen molecule has dissociated into atomic oxygen. So if O2 is becoming O, it is dissociating. So initially my mass will be 32. Now my mass will be 16, that is m by 2. Okay, initially my mass was 32 O2, having 32 mass, 32 gram molar mass. Now I have atomic oxygen 16 gram. So mass will become half and temperature will become double. Now we know that Vrms is directly proportional to under root, Vrms is 3 RT by m. So 3 and R are constant, under root T by m. So if we see V prime, Vrms prime by Vrms, what it will become? Temperature is become doubled, so it will be T prime by m prime into T by m, or we can just see from here, temperature will become double, mass will become half, we'll get a factor of 4. Okay, substitute it, Vrms prime by Vrms is temperature becomes double 2T, mass becomes m by 2 into T by m. This gets cancelled, we get root 4. Therefore what we will get, Vrms is equal to, Vrms prime is equal to 2 times Vrms. Okay, so the speed will become double, the velocity of atomic oxygen becomes double, it not become halves, 4 times or same, velocity will become double. This will be the answer. Next question is, 7 mole of certain monatomic ideal gas undergoes a temperature increase of 40 Kelvin. Okay, so we have 7 moles, N is 7 and delta T is given as 40 Kelvin. The increase in the internal energy, they have simply asked the increase in internal energy. What is delta U? Increase in internal energy is NCV delta T. CV, we have a monoatomic gas. Okay, so CV will be for a monoatomic gas. What is my CV? CV is 3 by 2R. Okay, CV monatomic gases, CV is 3 by 2R. So number of moles is 7 into 3 by 2 into R into delta T is 40 Kelvin. So we get 20, it will be 7 3s are 21 into 20 into 8.314. So what we will get is 3486 joules. Okay, we will get a delta U is equal to 3490 joules point something. Okay, this is what we will get, which will be approximately 3486 joule. This was the nearest answer. Okay, so this will be the answer. See next question. Same gas is filled in 2 vessels of same volume. What is same? Number 1, gas is same. Number 2, volume is same. And number 3, temperature is same. In questions of thermodynamics and kinetic theory of gases, it is very essential for you guys to read the question correctly. Okay, if you read the statement step by step and see what thing is given as same, what is kept as constant, half of the question is solved over there only. Okay, if you just skip one thing, it can create a problem, you will solve the answer incorrectly. Okay, so what you have to be careful is see what is given to you. You have seen in the questions, we have seen the question, these are very easy direct questions, nothing hard is in present in these questions. Okay, now see, same gas is filled, gas is also same, 2 vessels, same volume and at same temperature. If the ratio of number of molecules is 1:4, N1 to N2 is 1:4, then RMS velocity of gas molecules in 2 vessels will be same. Vrms depends on, Vrms is under root 3 RT by M. Same gas, same molar mass. Okay, we have same gas, so we will have same molar mass. Then we have same temperature. Okay, so Vrms will be same. Vrms will be same for both. Okay, so option number 1 is correct. A statement is correct. Ratio of pressure in these vessels is, now by ideal gas equation we know that PV is equal to NKBT. Okay, so P1 into V is equal to N1 into KB into T, volume same. Okay, P2 into V is equal to N2 into KB into T. So when we take the ratio P1 ratio P2, or we can directly also say that volume is constant, temperature is constant, so P is directly proportional to N. we have P1 is to P2 is equal to N1 is to N2 will be 1:4. So second option is also correct. Ratio of pressure will be 1:1, incorrect. RMS velocity of molecules in the two gases will be in the ratio 1:4, incorrect. So which option, A and B, are the correct statements? We will get option number 3 as the answer. So see, we have to read the statement carefully. If we read the statement properly, half of the problem is solved. Okay. See next question. A vessel contains 16 gram of hydrogen and 128 gram of oxygen at standard temperature. So if we say number of moles of hydrogen, okay, hydrogen, number of moles will be how much hydrogen? 16 gram divided by 2 gram. So number of moles will be 8 moles. Okay. For oxygen, how many moles? N2 will be equal to 128 gram is the mass of oxygen given to us, and 32 is the molecular mass of oxygen gas. So we will have 4 moles. Okay. At standard temperature, so T will be 273 Kelvin, and pressure, standard pressure, so P will be 1 atm, that is 1.013 into 10 raised to the power 5 Pascal. Okay, this will be my pressure. The volume of the vessel in centimeter cube is, we have to find the volume of the vessel. Total pressure is equal to partial pressure, sum of partial pressure of the gas. How we calculate partial pressure? Same temperature, same volume. If individual gas is pressure, whatever individual gas is present, whatever pressure is exerted, that will be my partial pressure. So total pressure is 1 atm. So 1.013 into 10 raised to the power 5 is equal to N1 RT by V plus N2 RT by V. So from here, what we will get? V is equal to, number of moles will be to 8 plus 4, 12 into 8.31 into 273 divided by 1.013 into 10 raised to the power 5. N1 plus N2 will be left, RT by V will come common. We will go to that side, this will come to this side. So when we solve this, we will get V is equal to 26.8 into 10 raised to the power 3 centimeter cube. Now see, this will come in meter cube. Okay, this will come in meter cube. To convert meter cube, we will, because we have taken everything in SI unit, so volume will come in meter cube. To convert meter cube into centimeter cube, we will multiply it with 10 raised to the power 6. Okay, so what we will get? We will get it as V is equal to approximately, 10 raised to the power 4, not 3, 10 raised to the power 4 will come, because 110 will come due to this 5 and 6. Okay, centimeter cube, so 27 into 10 raised to the power 4 centimeter cube. Calculated, this is what we will get as answer. Option number 3 will be the answer. Okay, option number 3 will be the answer. Next question. The pressure P1 and density D1 of a diatomic gas, okay, pressure P1, density D1 changes suddenly to P2. Now sudden change, which process? Adiabatic process. Okay, take the words very seriously. Okay, take the words of the question, read the question line by line. Half of the question is solved, because as I read the word suddenly, I know it's a adiabatic process. I have to apply adiabatic equation. Okay, if we read the question haphazardly, then we will see half of the words and we'll get confused. What equation is it? Isobaric process, isothermal, adiabatic? What I have to use? Because they see, they have already mentioned adiabatic process. If they don't mention adiabatic process, then also we can take it as adiabatic process if it is suddenly it is mentioned. Okay, in this question they have mentioned it, but before reading half of the question we know it is an adiabatic process. Okay, so read the question. Good, it's very important to read the question. The pressure P1 and density D1 of a diatomic gas changes suddenly to P2, which is greater, pressure is increased, and D2 respectively during an adiabatic process. Density is also changed. The temperature of the gas increases and becomes times of it dash time of its initial temperature, and we have to find that. Okay, and becomes dash times of its initial temperature, and we have to find that how much time. T2 is how much times T1, given D2 by D1 is equal to 32. Now because we have to find time and we are given density, okay, we know that volume is inversely proportional to density. Okay, density is equal to mass by volume. Mass of the gas is not changing. Okay, mass of the gas is not changing, it will, that much mass is present. So density is inversely proportional to volume, or volume is inversely proportional to density. So what we will get, V1 by V2 is equal to D2 by D1 is equal to 32. Okay, V1 by V2 will be equal to D2 by D1, that will be 32, that is given. Now because we know the volume and we want to find temperature, which adiabatic equation we will use? We will use T into V raised to the power gamma minus 1 remains constant. So from here we will get T2 by T1 is equal to V1 by V2 raised to the power gamma minus 1. Okay, this is what we will get. T will be K by V. So we get T2 by T1 is V1 by V2 into gamma minus 1. Now we know V1 by V2. So T2 by T1 is 32 raised to the power, gamma is given as 7 by 5 minus 1. So it will be 32 raised to the power, what, how much time? 7 minus 5, 2 by 5. Okay, time. So T2 will be 32 is 2 raised to the power 5. Okay, so what we will get? We will get 2 raised to the power 2 into T1. T2 is 4 times T1. So 4 will be the answer. Okay, answer will be 4. This is a NAT type question, you will write 4. Okay, 4 will be the answer. See next question. In a Carnot engine, the temperature of reservoir is 527 degrees Celsius and that of sink is 200 Kelvin. Now we clearly remember that in the Carnot cycle, every formula we have to write temperature in Kelvin. Even in thermodynamics and KTG whole chapter, write temperature in Kelvin. Don't take temperature in degrees Celsius anywhere. Okay, always write the temperature in Kelvin scale. So T1 is 527 degrees Celsius, which is equal to 527 plus 273, which is 800 Kelvin. Okay, T1 will be 800 Kelvin and T2 is given as 200 Kelvin. If the work done by the engine when it transfers heat from reservoir to sink, okay, while it is transferring heat from reservoir to sink is 1200 kilojoules, work done by the engine while transferring heat, this is given as work done. Okay, this is given as work done, it is given as 12,000 kilojoules. So 12 into this much, we have to find it in joules, so take it in joules. So it will be 12 into 10 raised to the power 6 joules. Okay, 12 into 10 raised to the power 6 joule. Now we know that efficiency is 1 minus T2 by T1. Also efficiency is work done by heat absorbed. Yes, also efficiency is work done by heat absorbed. We have to point quantity of heat absorbed from the engine, heat absorbed by the engine from the reservoir. So 1 minus what we will get? 1 minus 200 by 800 is equal to, work done is 12 into 10 raised to the power 6 by Q1. So this gets cancelled, or this get cancelled on 4. So 1 minus 1 by 4. What we will get? 3 by 4. 3 by 4 is equal to 12 into 10 raised to the power 6 divided by Q1. So we get Q1 is equal to 16 into 10 raised to the power 6 joules. So 10 raised to the power 6 joule is already mentioned, okay. Sorry, they have mentioned is dash into 10 raised to the power 6. So what answer we will write? Answer we will write as 16. Okay, answer we will write as 16. See next question. A diatomic gas gamma is given as 1.4 does 400 joule of work when it is expanded isobarically. Isobaric is the process. The heat given to the gas in process is dash joules. We have to find heat given. Heat given for an isobaric process is NCP delta T. Yes, heat given is given as NCP delta T for an isobaric process when pressure is constant. Work done is P delta V for an isobaric process, that is given as 400 joules. Okay, now we can write Cp as gamma by gamma minus 1 into R into delta T. Okay, we can write Cp in the form of adiabatic index. So from here we will get gamma by gamma minus 1 into Nr delta T. PV is equal to nRT. If pressure is kept constant, then P delta V is equal to Nr delta T. Pressure and number of moles are also kept constant, and they will be constant because there is no mention of exchange of molecules. Okay, so from here Nr delta T is equal to P delta V, and this is equal to, so we can write it as gamma by gamma minus 1 into P delta V, which is given as 400 joules. Okay, so from here we can find delta Q is 1.4 divided by 1.4 minus 1 into 400. Okay, so delta Q is 1.4 divided by 0.4 into 400. So delta Q will be 1400 joules. Okay, delta Q is 1400 joules. Okay, so this will become 14 by 4 and they will get cancelled. So delta Q will be 1400 joules. So this is also a NAT type question. We have to find in joules, so answer will be 1400. You will write the answer as 1400. See next question. Starting with the same initial conditions, an ideal gas expands from volume V1 to V2 in 3 different ways. Okay, we have an ideal gas, it is expanding from same initial, matlab PV1, if P1, P is the pressure, same initial condition. Okay, all 3 processes, they are starting with the same initial condition. Work done by the gas, okay, so work done by the gas is W1, this is nothing, work done by the gas is W1 if the process is purely isothermal. Okay, so for in the isothermal process, how much work is done? W1. W2 if the process is purely adiabatic. In a pure adiabatic process, work done is W2, and W3 if the process is purely isobaric. Okay, if we are changing it from V1 to V2, it is expanding. Okay, let's draw the indicator diagram, PV diagram. In an isobaric process, let us say this was my initial condition. Okay, I was here PV1. Okay, this was my initial condition. We go from V1 to V2. If I go by an isobaric process, pressure will remain same. I'll go from V1 to V2. This will be my third isobaric one. And if I go isothermal, it will be like this, V1 to V2. This is my isothermal process number 2. Adiabatic, the slope of adiabatic curve is gamma times the slope of isothermal, so it will decrease more rapidly. Okay, so this will be my slope, delta P. Now delta P by delta V, this is adiabatic, this is isothermal, this is work done is area under the curve. So area under W3 is greater, so W3 is most, then area will be greater in W1, then it will be W2. So this will be the answer. Okay, we can do it by checking the area under the curve. So W3 is the largest one, see in which option, then W1 and then W2. W3 is the greatest one, then we have isothermal W1, W2. I think, yeah, there is an error in this option. There is error in this option. Okay. Oh, 2 and 2. It's a printing mistake. Here it will be 1. Okay. Here it will be 1. So see, option number 3 will be the answer. W2 is the least, then W1, then W3. Okay, so work done in an isobaric process will be larger than isothermal, then adiabatic we can do by area under PV diagram. Okay, we can do it by area under PV curve. We are starting from the same initial, going to the same V1 to V2 change. See next, ratio of specific heat Cp by Cv in terms of degree of freedom is. So gamma is Cp by Cv. In terms of degree of freedom, it is given as 1 plus 2 by F. So this will be the answer, option number 2. Many people remember this formula. If anyone doesn't remember this formula, then you can use that Cv is equal to F by 2R and Cp is equal to Cv plus 1. Okay, Cp minus Cv plus R, not 1, Cv plus R. So by this you can get it. Okay, this will be the answer, 1 plus 2 by F. See next question. The efficiency of a Carnot's engine working between steam point. What is steam point? 100 degrees Celsius, which is equal to 373 Kelvin, and ice point. What is ice point? 0 degrees Celsius, which is equal to 273 Kelvin will be. We have to find its efficiency. So efficiency is 1 minus T2 by T1. So efficiency will be, which one will be T1? This will be T1 and this will be T2. Okay, so efficiency will be 1 minus 273 divided by 373. So it will become 100 divided by 373. So efficiency will be 0.2681, and if you want to write in percentage, multiplied by 100 to get in percent. So it will be 26.81%. Okay, efficiency is 26.81%. Option number 1 will be the answer. See next question. A monatomic gas at pressure P and volume V is suddenly compressed to 1/8 of its original volume. Now see, in this question they didn't mention which process, but if you read it carefully, they have written suddenly compressed. It means adiabatic process. It means adiabatic process. Okay, suddenly compressed to 1/8 of its original volume. Okay, initially volume is V, Now it has changed to some pressure is P prime and volume V prime, where we are given that V prime is equal to V by 8. The final pressure at constant entropy will be, we have to find the final pressure. So final pressure PV gamma is the constant. This is the equation. So from here P2 by P1 is equal to V1 by V2 raised to the power gamma. Yes. So P2 by P, or let us take it as V2. Okay. V2 is V1 by 8 and V1 is V. Okay. So P2 by P, V1 is V, V2 is V by 8 raised to the power gamma. Okay. And gamma, monoatomic. See, monoatomic gas, they have mentioned it gamma. You have to remember gamma. It can be given to you, it may not be given to you. Okay. So this will be 5 by 3. V and V gets cancelled. P2 is equal to P into 8 raised to the power 5 by 3. So P2, 8 is 2 cube. So 3 and 3 get cancelled. It will be 2 raised to the power 5 into P. So P2 will be 32 times P. Okay. P2 will be 32 times P. This will be the answer. Option number 3 is the correct option. Okay. See next question. For an ideal heat engine, the temperature of the source is 127 degrees Celsius. Okay. Temperature of the source is 127 degrees Celsius. Take it in as Kelvin. So 127 plus 273, temperature of the source is 400 Kelvin. In order to have an efficiency of 60%, efficiency is 60%. If we write in fraction, it will be 0.6. The temperature of sink should be in degrees Celsius. We have to find the temperature of sink in degrees Celsius. Okay. So eta is equal to 1 minus T2 by T1. Always remember, they will give the temperature in degrees Celsius and will ask in degrees Celsius, but you have to convert it in Kelvin at both the processes. In this formula, temperature is always put in Kelvin only. Okay, never put in degrees Celsius. 0.6 is equal to 1 minus T2 by what we have T1 as 400 Kelvin. So 1 minus 0.6, this will become T2 by 400 is equal to 0.4. So T2 will be 160 Kelvin. T2 will be 160 Kelvin. Now convert it into degrees Celsius. 160 minus 273, because we know that Kelvin value is equal to Celsius value plus 273. So Celsius value will be Kelvin value minus 273. So from here, what we will get, 273 minus 160. So we will get 113 minus 113 degrees Celsius. Okay. So temperature of the sink in degrees Celsius is minus 113 degrees Celsius. This will be the answer, not this. Okay. See next question. Let eta 1 be the efficiency of an engine when T1 is 447 degrees Celsius. So for eta 1, T1 is given as 447 degrees Celsius, which will be 447 plus 273. So from here T1 amounts as 7, 3, 10, then 12 and then 1, 7. So this T1 will come out as 720 Kelvin. And T2 is equal to 147 degrees Celsius. So if T1 is 447, this is 720 and this is 300 less, it will be 420. Okay, it will be 420 Kelvin. While eta 2 is the efficiency at T1, for eta 2, what is T1 for eta 2? It is 947 degrees Celsius, which will be 947, 500 more, so 1220 Kelvin. Okay, and T2 is 47 degrees Celsius, so 47 degrees Celsius, 400 less, so it will be 320 Kelvin. Okay, these are the temperature. Write every temperature in Kelvin. I'm saying again and again, okay, because this is a basic mistake students do. The ratio of eta 1 to eta 2 is, we have to find the ratio of eta 1 to eta 2. Eta 1 will be 1 minus T2 by T1. So eta 1 will be 1 minus T2 is 420 divided by 720. Okay, so from here eta 1 will come out as this 72 minus 40, 30 divided by 72. And for eta 2 will be 1 minus T2 by T1, again substituted. It will be 320 divided by 1220. This get cancelled. 122 minus 32, 90 by 122. Okay, so take the ratio eta 1 by eta 2. This will be 30 by 72 multiplied by 90 by 122. Yes, 90 by 122. So this goes on 1 3, and when we solve it, we will get eta 1 ratio eta 2 as 0.56. Okay, solve this fraction, you will get the ratio as 0.56. This will also get cancelled on 36, and this will get cancelled on 61. Okay, so what we will get is option number 2.56 will be the answer. Okay, so this was all about the thermodynamics and KTG PYQs. I hope you are liking this session and giving them a lot of love. So please comment which next chapter you want me to solve the PYQs for you guys. Till then, keep studying, keep rocking. Just do it, you will definitely clear it. Okay, put the hard work, whatever you can do. Very less days are left. Please put your best. The results will always be the best. Take care everyone. Goodbye.